On the poem Tattoo by Greg Shapiro. Okay, this is what we're looking for. Success criteria. Students will be able to identify theme and message in the poem. They'll be able to explain figurative language and connect that back to the message and or theme. So that is our success criteria right there. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and read through this poem one more time. I would like you to follow along. So, can I hit the lights, please? Tattoo by Greg Shapiro. Oh, yes. My father won't talk about the numbers. 3, 7, 8, 2, 5. Between the wrist and elbow, blue as blood on his left forearm. Instead, he spreads over himself over me, spilling his protection like acid until it burns. I wear him like a cloak, sweat under the weight. There were stories in the lines of his face, the nervous blue flash in his eyes, his bone-crushing hugs. I am drowning in silence, trying to stay afloat on curiosity. Questions choke me and I swallow hard. We don't breathe the same air, speak the same language, live in the same universe. We're continents, worlds apart. I am sorry my life has remained unscathed. His scars still bleed, his bruises don't fade. If I could trade places with him, I would pad the rest of his days, wrap him in gauze and velvet, absorb the shocks and treat his wounds. I would scrub the numbers from his flesh, extinguish the fire, and give him back his life. Okay, I want you to turn and talk to a partner about the theme. The theme is what? The text supports this theme because it says blank. Please fill in those blanks with your partner. Talk. New hand up. Simon, what's the message of this poem?
Never stop wondering.
Never stop wondering. I like that. Never stop wondering, never stop dreaming. Okay, what could be another message that you get from this poem? Ruben?
That you never know what's going to happen next.
You never know what's going to happen next. Okay. Let's hear from one more person I have not heard from yet. Yvonne, you're a likely candidate. What do you think this message is? What did you talk about?
I couldn't figure it out.
You couldn't figure it out? Do you have one, Z? Who else had their hand up? Robert?
Maybe to stop dreaming, stop questioning.
Stop questioning, stop dreaming. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
See,
Robert just
everybody
beat
gets
you to
different
it.
stuff.
And ask so many questions and you don't have the answers.
She switched back.
Okay, so here's the vital question of the day, which is what we'll be working on for, the next week and a half. How does,
You wrote it down.
you don't have to write this down because we're going to talk about it a lot. You could write it down if you would like to. So how does the language and poetic devices connect and support the message or meaning of a poem? So what I mean by that is, Langston Hughes specifically wrote like that a dream deferred does it dry up like a raisin in the sun. He used that image, he used that simile purposefully because it connects back to this idea of whether it's never stop dreaming, never stop wondering, because that dream could be like a raisin in the sun and just shrivel up and be nothing. Or it could be the other message we talked about, which is to stop questioning. If you let it just be what it is, then
Hi, Captain.
because he wants to like, he shows how other Americans
Filament.
just has like
Please write them down. You have about 10 more seconds. Alright, so if we could bring it back full circle in 3, 2. Alright. Jenny, what did you and your partner talk about? Okay, so what was your theme that you chose? Pain. I think that's wonderful. What tech support do you have for that? Scars still bleed, bruises don't fade? Okay, I think that's a good one. Perfect. Alright, let's move on to message. Go ahead and turn to your partner. The message is what? The text supports this because it says what? Go ahead, turn top. Write it down. Message is what the author is trying to say. What's the meaning?
I think that if you say your pain that you put out,
Hardy, what do you?
yeah.
Huh? Yes, write it on there. Alright, everybody, give me about 10 more seconds.
Starts to say I'm sorry, and I thought you made scars still bleed.
Alright, please finish your conversations. Fill in your worksheets. I'm going to pick on call on someone to tell me what they and their partner talked about. Andres, what did you and Dio talk about?
Talk about like how messaging would be to respect people's past.
To respect their past? I think that's a good one. What's one more message? Madeline? Made the eye contact.
So we have to say that sympathy can be shown without parents shall be shown parents.
Say it again.
Sympathy can be shown from parents child to child to parent.
So sympathy can be shown in through relationships between children and parents. Wonderful. Okay, last one. Talk about an example of figurative language that connects the theme and the message. So I've labeled all of these, well not all of them, but a lot of figurative language on there. So pick something and talk about it. How does it connect? Go.
Where it says that, where it talks about where it says, I would scroll in this person who cares and wants to like raise that over. So like sympathy and caring for hope is like something.
Alright, please wrap up your conversations. Ruben, what did you guys talk about?
We talked about how we did like the same thing as Jenny.
Okay, so you talked about pain as the theme. What figure language did you pick that kind of connects everything together? Pain. Christian? you wanna help them out?
Do you see the team? Wait, did you see the team that you thought of? Oh no, I had a different
We
team.
thought-
What was your theme?
Caring.
Caring? Okay, so what did you find out?
But it says that I would scrub the numbers from his flesh, extinguish the fire, and bring him back his life.
How does that connect?
Because it shows that he cares about his dad, about that she or he cares about his dad.
How?
And,
Push a little bit further. How does saying,
Because
I would scrub the numbers from his flesh, extinguish
She wants
the
to-
fire?
erase that his dad's memory from something like that.
Okay. So, Christian, other Christian, were you gonna say something too?
Yeah,
What were you gonna say?
here it says, I would scrub the numbers from his flesh, and since our theme was pain, I feel like he's in pain, and he wants to like scrub them off, because he's in pain.
I think that's perfect. So, let's go ahead and look at my little checklist that I made. So, if you find this helpful to write this down, I would write it down in your notebook. Figurative language checklist. So here's what you gotta do. First thing you gotta do is obviously find some figurative language. But once you find it, explain it. What makes it a simile? What makes it a metaphor? If you wanna look at that third line, it says blue as blood. I know this is a simile because it uses the word like or as. And it's comparing blue and blood, the blue tattoo and blood. So here's what I know about those two things. First of all, blue tattoo, it's just an old tattoo. Black tattoos eventually turn blue after a while. Mm-hmm. You're really old.
But he doesn't really, that's not
That's
Yeah, but this is like back in the day. This is 1940s. They didn't have as good of technology when it comes to tattoos.
Isn't this like of the Holocaust?
Yes. So, but what I'm saying is, we've got a blue tattoo, right? What do you think about blood? So, blood's got a lot of kind of hidden meaning. You could have literally blood. You could have blue as blood. Think about the idea of blue blood. You think of that, right? Right?
It has carbon dioxide.
It has more carbon dioxide. If you want to write this checklist, you can, yeah. Say again, Jasmine? So we've got blue blood. What else is a connotation of blood? You say that you are connected by blood. What does that mean? Well, connected by blood, what does that mean?
Like your family.
Like your family, right? So we've got all of these different kind of ideas of blood. So blue is blood. It's got a lot of connection to both the tattoo, to his family, all of these things. So let's go to the next step. Why does the poet use this specific figurative language? So use your background knowledge about similes. So I know that he's comparing two things, right? We've already talked a little bit about that. He's comparing this tattoo to, lifeblood. He's comparing this tattoo to family ties and to being a part of something from the past. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so let's get to the third section. How does this connect to the message of the theme? So I kind of thought the theme of this poem was family, in my opinion. And then I said that the message is that you kind of have to respect the hardships that your family's gone through in the past. So I connect this idea of blue as blood, this simile, this specific figure of language, I connect it to the theme because I know that the author is using blood on very many levels. And he's using blood to really highlight this idea that the tattoo is a blood bond between the father and the son. That's my idea. Can anyone think of another thing that another example of some figurative language that they want to use this checklist? How about we do we are continents worlds apart? Do you see that kind of 3/4 way down the poem? Alright, so turn and talk to your partner. Let's go through this checklist. We are continents worlds apart. Talk about that metaphor really quickly. Do the checklist with one another. So, take that, guys. Go through my checklist. What is the advice? Explain all about it. Right?
I mean, because
What do we know about nurture?
of the
So,
because of
in Mexican movies,
not as close as
him and his father are the world apart. What does that mean? What else? They don't share things with one another, they're on different parts of the literally different locations. And what does that say about it? What does that say about
My arm, my legs.
Can you help me? Let's click right there. Ow. No. First.
I like that a lot. You guys have
Oh,